Welcome back to the Power Exchange, where we dive into the expertise, processes, and people powering EDF's impact across the Middle East. I'm Noura Abdelmoneim, and today we're talking about something fundamental to every successful project: how we translate client expectations, technical scope, and contractual commitments into actionable, deliverable reality. Joining me is Abel Erasmus, Contract Manager for EDF Middle East. Abel sits at a critical intersection between clients, engineering teams, project managers, and legal structures, making sure that what EDF signs is exactly what EDF can deliver: safety, on time, and with clarity. Abel, let's start at the beginning. So when we say contract management, in our environment, what does it mean and how is it connected to our day-to-day project delivery?
In our environment, our contracts are build, own, and operate by nature. And this leads to a variety of contracts in a project-financed environment. So we have operational contracts, we have construction contracts, and we have finance agreements. And all this has to be managed in a way that minimizes our risk and meets our commercial expectations of the project.
Once a project is signed, what are the crucial steps to take to make sure that the contract is fully understood and aligned and ready to be delivered by the delivery team?
Our projects get mainly created in the business development phase. They come into rise there. And so therefore we have a handover process where we have a rigorous process of understanding what the business development team had in mind and what needed to be executed. Then in the execution phase, we follow contract management procedures developed within EDF, where there are a variety of tools that make sure we document and track correctly all the contract management obligations of our contract.
Contracts can be highly technical documents. So how do you ensure engineering teams have the clarity they need and that they understand what's written on the paper?
In our business development teams, there are contract managers embedded in the team. And these contract managers work very closely with the technical leader of the team. So there is close collaboration between the technical needs of the project and what is written finally in the contract. During the execution phase, we track carefully any misalignment that we might have with the contract, which in the current environment is quite small because the contract has evolved so much over time. And if there are any small misalignments, we feed them back in a lessons learned process, where the next time we develop new projects and make new contracts, that we capture any of these changes that we experienced before.
So actually, you started answering my next question. So once delivery begins, expectations can change. And how do you maintain alignment with the client so that the relationship stays strong and the project stays strong, but also making sure that the adaptations are done?
In our contract management procedures, there is a very well described procedure to follow in the case of variations to the contract. Our project is also structured in such a way we have a board and normally a financial and a technical committee that advises this board but also supports the project. Now, in this governance structure, there are some senior EDF people involved that can help with any stakeholder management should we experience any changes to the contract or unexpected misalignments to the contract that we can manage with all stakeholders.
And on a daily basis, you work with project managers, you work with health and safety, you work with procurement, with so many various different teams. What does good internal collaboration look like in your role?
So the way we structure contract management, each project has embedded in the project team a contract manager dedicated simply to that project. Then through the governance process and the board, we become aware of any, day-to-day issues with the project, and we can manage that then by providing support by a team, people like myself, that can advise and also do some stakeholder management if that's required.
As the energy transition accelerates with digitalization, AI, energy as a service models, and new technologies in general, how do you see client contracts evolving?
Because the projects will probably remain on a build, operate and own basis, and they will remain project finance, I expect to see the structure of the contracts remain mostly unchanged. What will evolve is the commercial realities of the new technologies, how we want to structure those, and the engineering details of the new technologies will have to be properly structured in the new contract. So that's where the evolvement will happen.
And what would you say the biggest misconception people have about contract management?
I would say that people think that contract management is a tool to maximize your commercial benefit from the contract, where contract management is actually a tool to manage your risk in such a way that your commercial baseline of the project remains unchanged.
And in one sentence, if possible, why does good contractual discipline matter for project success?
Good contractual discipline ensures that contract risk is minimized, and in minimizing the contract risk, that enables us to stay with our commercial baselines for the project.
What advice would you give to colleagues, to younger generations that are interested in this role, on how to think contract as they grow in their career?
I would say to understand that for almost every situation that occurs on a project, there is normally already written in the contract some kind of solution to this problem. So the thing we should do is not to make up our own ideas about how to solve problems, but to go check in the contract. There is probably already some stipulations about how to deal with a specific situation.
This has been The Power Exchange. Thank you for listening, and join us for the next episode as we continue exploring the expertise shaping the future of energy in the Middle East.